The dignification of the work is whether this young person is able to work in an environment that is conducive. Number two, are they able to earn enough and sufficient money that is considered above average wage?
Hello everybody, my name is Gloria Gathogo. Welcome to the Just Angie show. This is a Angie Monday segment, and we're continuing our conversation we've had with Dr. Ehud on Ajira Digital. Today we're going to focus on dignified work, one of your pillars, and thank you so much actually for coming. So we want to discuss how does Ajira define dignified work?
Yeah, good question, and I think this is one of the most important and pressing questions for everyone who is working in youth employment, whether whatever you're doing results into dignified and meaningful work for young people. Mm-hmm. So for Ajira, as I probably had earlier alluded to, we promote what we call freelancing as a core mean of young people working, meaning that a young person can actually be able to take 2, 3, 4 jobs and be able to execute them. So in the end, the dignification of the work is whether this young person is able to work in an environment that is conducive. Number two, are they able to earn enough and sufficient money that is considered above average wage in terms of the constitutions? Do they have the right opportunities to access, for example, credit or healthcare as a result of the ability to work online? And so the whole question of dignified work from an Nigeria perspective and from a digital enabled work perspective, it means that you cannot really traditionally look at whether someone has a permanent contract, whether they have, a health insurance with certain XYZ company, whether they have a credit line with a certain bank. But then I think for us, we are looking at the conditions under which young people are able to work and the level in which they feel comfortable working within the spaces in which they work. For example, if it's the platform that they work, do they find it fair? Do they get fair opportunities to the competition? Are they able to get fair treatment? Are they getting fair income as a result of their the work that they undertake? So the dignification of work is very important because then it defines really the impact in which we look and aspire to for all Kenyans, whether it's in digital economy or in other means of classical approach to youth employment.
Wow, I love that. And one thing I'd add is that it enables the youth to present themselves and bring their skills. So I love that. So how do you empower the youth to acquire dignified work?
Yeah, of course, the entry point is really exposing you to the fact that we give you an induction to online work. We train, we have specific skills we train, but what we're saying is that, you see, everyone has something to offer to the digital economy. Whether you are a micro entrepreneur doing your own retail work, whether you are a fundi doing carpentry, clothing, engineering type of work, or whether you are a young person with technical skills in certain areas, engineering and the like, accountants, everyone has something to offer. So for us, what we try to do as a basic entry level is to expose you to the fact that there exist opportunities in the online space which you can tap based on the skills that you do have. We also ground you with skills that are relevant to navigate through that space. But more importantly, what you're trying to do actually is to build the connections that are relevant for you to be able to transact, because you will ask me, where do I find online work? So we have what we call platforms, and these platforms are generally channels in which most of the work is channeled. For example, if you have an e-commerce platform, say for example like Jumia, where many micro retailers are putting products, young people with technical skills are able to support in labeling and arranging the stores. They're also able to use the same platform to do digital marketing, or an online work platform that is using micro influencers to do digital marketing. So there could be a platform like Twitter that does that, or Wowzy that does, have millions of young people who are earning decent livelihood as a result of promoting, products and services for different companies. Or really business process outsourcing companies that are outsourcing micro work from, companies in US and in other countries, and young people are able to do data annotation type of work or AI type of work. So there are myriad of platforms that are used to aggregate, distribute, and share work within the freelancing ecosystem. And so we do try to promote growth of those digital platforms so that they can be able to serve the young people better. But more importantly, I think for us, the pivotal point here is that Kenya as a country do have very solid private sector. So how can we encourage the private sector to source work to digital platforms so that that work is available for young people to be able to do them and execute, and therefore result to earning dignified livelihoods?
Wow, I love that. I totally love that, because I think of myself as a creative. What would I be doing online? My work is more tangible, but I love the fact that it is a space for everyone on the online market. And I'd ask, what are the challenges you've experienced in enforcing this mandate?
I mean, of course, the challenge is that being a very nascent economy in the country, we have a lot of work to do to create awareness, to make sure that people feel comfortable, businesses feel comfortable to give us work and to trust young people that they can execute to the expected level of quality, that their data will be kept private, that young people will also not, run away with some preferential information and resources for the companies. And for young people, it's just being authentic, like, around being real, being able to really serve diligently, faithfully on the work that you've been given, and not be able to oversell yourself, and also be willing to learn. Because for this space for you to thrive, it's all about lifelong learning, that you have to continually upgrade your skills, because things are changing very, very, very fast. So we are trying to create an ecosystem where learning is the key and is for everyone, and is an everyday, every time responsibility for everyone. The second thing that we're trying to do is to create awareness to the private sector, to the government, to digital platforms, that it is important that you all come together to look at the regulation, to look at the growth aspect of technology. We look at the importance of doing this program in a more job-inclusive manner, because digitization can happen without employment. I mean, it is possible for it to grow without creating jobs. Yes. But here, simply because we are tackling jobs, then we have to bring everyone on board and let everyone know what the core mandate is. If you have to make Kenya a freelancing hub in 2022, it means that all of us have to work together. So to bring all these entities together has been a real work. Tremendous progress has been made. We're still struggling a little bit also, of course, with access, because not every young Kenyan can access devices and also information. Yes. So those are still basic things that you're struggling with. But of course, good progress has made towards ensuring that all those issues and challenges are being tackled.
Wow, I love that. I see Ajira like a bridge that is now taking the youth from what we have known, the 8-to-5 job, now into the online space. And I really, really love that. So what would be your parting shot to the youth? What would you tell them?
Online work is work. And this is very important, because as I keep saying, the attitude, the skills, your agility, your ability to be inquisitive, you being able to take, self-directed measures of shaping your life. I think that's very, very critical, because what we've seen really previously is when young people become, desperate because they don't have opportunities. It results the fact that they start being self-pity, and then they just pull back. And that's why we're seeing proliferation of, mental challenges for young people, getting depressed. We see COVID generation emerging. And so for us to tackle this, we are encouraging young people to take a step of faith and start doing something with your skill, with your attitude, and with your abilities to make your life better. And Ajira Digital is here to support your vision and your goals.
Wow, 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 wow. So you've had it here first. You have access, there's access to a solution. One question I'd ask is that, are you part of the problem or are you part of the solutions? There are solutions in this day and age for campus students, for if you be in the workplace and you're looking for a space to learn and grow. There are people who are there and readily available to connect to you. So thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to check out Ajira Digital and do plug in. It's an amazing space to grow. And thank you, Dr. Ehud, for joining us.
Thank you.
Be sure to join us next week, Monday, for the Mwangi Monday segment. God bless you. Bye.